Do-it-yourself smell bar, soft-sculpted molecules, and nasal epithelium. This video will provide step-by-step instructions for assembling the soft sculpture props that can be used in conjunction with the hands-on activities of the smell bar modules. Let's take a look at the materials you will need to make molecules. A sewing machine, threads, pins, fabric scissors, measuring tape, fabrics of your choice. You will also need polyester fill and batting to create the soft sculptures. For the C10H18O molecule, we chose to use a black fabric for the carbon atoms, white tulle puffs for the hydrogen atoms. The puffs are available in most fabric stores. And for the oxygen atom, we chose a stretchy red fabric. Let's make a molecule, shall we? Each of the fabric spheres that represent the carbon and oxygen atoms are made up of 6 elliptical panels sewn together and stuffed with polyester fill. For our oxygen atom, we will measure and cut 6 3-inch by 6-inch rectangles from the red fabric. We will then trim the rectangles into an elliptical shape. You can stack 2 or 3 rectangles and trim them together. Once your 6 panels are cut, you'll sew the pairs of panels together along one edge. You may choose to pin the panels together before sewing. After sewing one edge of the 3 pairs, you'll want to sew the pairs together. Turn one pair of panels inside out and cup it inside one of the other pairs. You will want what will eventually be the exterior sides of the sphere to be cupped face to face. Pin one edge and sew the panels together. Repeat this process with the last panel pair. You'll end up with the 6 panels joined together by 5 seams. Run a seam across the pointed end of the panels as well. You can see that the ellipses sewn together will create the spherical shape that we desire. Use the sewing machine to partially close the 6th and final seam. You'll want to leave an opening of about 1 inch or so. Now turn the panels inside out and stuff the polyester fill in through the opening. Use enough fill to create a firm sphere that will return to its proper shape after being compressed. Close the last inch or so of the opening with a needle and thread, taking care to tuck the sides of the panels inside the sphere. Tie off and trim the thread, and then congratulate yourself on creating an atom. Now, only 10 carbon atoms to go. Epithelial cells and receptor neurons. For the epithelial cells, we chose a pink-toned fabric, and for the olfactory receptor neurons, we chose a darker red fabric. Receptors on the nerve endings will be cut from colored fabric scraps that contrast with the color of the nerves. For this demonstration, we will create a short segment of tissue and 1 olfactory receptor neuron. You, however, will want to make your soft sculpture large and long enough to allow for the attachment of several nerve endings, 3 or 4 at least, so that you can demonstrate a variety of receptors. Note that the shape of the nerve endings is highly stylized in this model and not an accurate depiction. Also, the number of copies of the olfactory receptors can be hugely variable. Again, for demonstration purposes, we have stylized the receptors on the nerve endings to illustrate the interaction with odorant molecules. Finally, while any receptor nerve ending carries only one type of receptor on its surface, we cannot say that only one odorant will stimulate it. Odor reception and perception is complex and combinatorial. First, fold your choice of fabric over a length of batting. In addition to sewing a seam along all 4 sides of our olfactory tissue, you will want to create vertical columns along the length of the fabric. We've chosen to use a zigzag stitch to create the seams and columns of our olfactory tissue. Once finished with this part of the sculpture, you may choose to trim the excess fabric and batting. The nerve and nerve endings are created in much the same way by folding your chosen material over a section of cotton batting. Keep in mind that the nerve will be attached vertically to the section of olfactory tissue that you have just created. You will want the receptor neurons to be long enough so that the nerve endings hang below the olfactory tissue. The shape of the receptor neuron resembles a tree trunk that branches out to 3 limbs. The shapes are created freehand, again using the zigzag stitch for the seams. Trim the excess fabric and the batting to create a trunk of the nerve axon, and in this case, the 3 nerve endings. To represent the unique receptors that exist on each nerve, choose a fabric of contrasting color and cut 3 pieces in the size and shape of your choosing, as long as they will fit on a nerve ending. To be clear, each nerve should have a consistent color and shape of receptor on its nerve endings, but no 2 nerves should have the same colors or shapes. So there you go. And in no time you'll be enjoying the sweet smell of success that comes along from creating this soft sculpture. Good luck!